everybody. Welcome to the Six Figure Coach podcast. This episode is different from most of the other episodes I have done because I'm going to take you behind the scenes in my business. Actually, when we started this show, my plan was to do more behind the scenes episodes, and truthfully, I just enjoy the coaching episodes so much that it's hard for me to step away from those. But we do need to step away today because I have a big announcement in place. We're making some big changes in my business, and I want you to know all about them, what they are, why they're happening, and why they're important. So let's dive in. I want to just start by saying that if you're growing, things are changing, and it's just important to evolve in your business. I'm someone who, I read the last chapter of a book first, so I like to know where we are going. And it can be challenging to run an online business and be an entrepreneur because things often change. And the last year and a half, I would say, have been beautiful for me in a lot of ways because I have reconnected to a stronger sense of self and really reconnected to my own self-trust, which has caused me to move away from certain things inside of my business. And I just try inside the club to lead by example. And this episode is definitely me leading by example. And when things are changing, it's a sign you're growing, and growth is not linear. It's also often messy. So here we are. So with that, what I'm going to do is announce the big change. I'm going to give you a pretty in-depth explanation of this change, and then of course let you know what it means for you. So with all of that and all of the suspense that we've built, you're probably going to hear the change and think, oh, that's not that big of a deal, lady. Why are you doing a whole episode about this? But we shall see, won't we? All right, so drum roll, please. The big announcement is that we are saying goodbye to the name of my signature program, the Six Figure Coach Club. The podcast, which also has the same name, is going to change as well. We have something really cool in store coming up in October, so we're going to wait and announce the podcast name change then. Today, what I want to do is focus on the Six Figure Coach Club. All right, so why are we changing the name? One thing that has been so powerful for me this past year has been to really reconnect and lead with my values. Back in my former life when I was a business coach for actors, everything was so values focused and values led. And I had that business for a really long time, right? So when we shifted and started working with coaches, it didn't occur to me that my values would also shift, but it's a different business. It's a different time. I'm a mom now. I live in a totally different city. My life is very different. And I didn't take the time to reassess my values. And at some point down the road, I remember looking at at the time, my one assistant. We're a team of 4 now. But my one assistant, and I just looked at her and I said, like, what the F are we even doing, right? I had really lost my way, and I was focused so much on strategy that I'd lost the heart and lost some purpose, and I felt it. Things may have looked great from the outside looking in, but I didn't feel as connected or motivated. It all just felt like work, and I realized, I need to reclaim my values. So we've been doing that in big and small ways inside of my organization, and I have to just say, it's just liberating and illuminating and enlivening and all of those beautiful words. So if it's been a while since you have done a values appraisal, I want to invite you to do that. So the reason we're changing the name of the Six Figure Coach Club is because it rubs up against probably all 4 of our core values, at least 3 of them, and that's not cool with me. So let me walk you through it. One of our core values inside my company is agency. Agency is that empowered awareness of choice. It's complete ownership. And I want to feel that way every day. I want my team to feel that way every day. I definitely want all of our clients and students to feel that sense of agency. So again, that's this empowered awareness of choice and ownership of your own path, knowing that you are resourceful, capable, and whole. Now, why does the Six Figure Coach Club rub up against agency? Well, for me, here's what I was noticing. Number one, Not all of our members want a six-figure business. So here I am essentially assigning a goal to them. And not only do some of our members not care about six figures, others are aiming for 7. So they felt excluded in some way. And then I remember we had a coaching call where I talked about how 50 of the first 60 members inside the club had a six-figure business within a year. And one of our founding members posted in the chat how, boy, like, what's wrong with me? And she really felt like a failure because she hadn't hit that mark. And I realized, oh, we're emphasizing the wrong thing. So here we have members who go from a $10,000 year to an $85,000 year, and they feel like failures because they haven't hit that six-figure mark. What's the point of six figures if you can't celebrate the journey? So I no longer want to assign a goal to our members. And this is really interesting because hopefully you know me well enough to know that I did all of the market research, right? I did my Spark interviews, and I really was thoughtful about creating the name of the Six Figure Coach Club. And you know what? It was the right name at the time. It's not the right name any longer. But at the time, the one common theme with everyone I interviewed was they had this six-figure vision. But you know what? Not one of them emphasized the fact that they'd be rolling in the dough, right? It was six figures because that means all of my hard work has paid off. It's a sign that I'm on the right track. I'll be able to pay for our family vacation every year. I could put a down payment on a house. I could start a family. I could hire a team. I could invest back in the business more freely. There were all of these heart-centered, meaningful goals that six figures tended to represent. And when I named the program, I found that common thread, and I forgot to emphasize these other meaningful symbols. So agency is this empowered awareness of choice. I don't want you coming into my program thinking that my goal has to be your goal. Now, let me also say, I love money, okay? I think we should all have all the money because we will do great things with it. So this is not about being against that kind of thinking. This is about meaning and purpose and impact. And six figures isn't everybody's goal. And I want every one of our members to choose their own path. Okay. So another one of our core values in our company is something that I call Spark. And I spell it, it always has to be in all caps, and there always has to be an exclamation point at the end of it. So what is Spark? It is that moment where your self-image transforms because you've taken a scary action or you've accomplished something challenging. You see yourself differently in that moment, and there is no going back. I often tell the story of my daughter who taught herself to ride a bike. Talk about resourceful, right? And she started that morning with no intention of learning. She had training wheels, and it's kind of a long story, but we had this other, I took the wheels off. Okay, there's a longer story to it, but that's enough for now. And she started the day seeing herself as a kid with training wheels. And by the end of the day, she was a different person. She held herself differently. She was a bike riding kid, a big kid. And that was such a meaningful moment when she took off on her own down the street. It was really, really incredible. Spark is the thing that lights me up more than anything else. And spark happens kind of unpredictably, and it's often the tiny milestones that we reach that create spark, not these big goals. So the Six Figure Coach Club, that name does not come close to representing all that we are inside of the program. Yeah, the money's awesome, but the money is not everybody's goal, right? And our members, they experience spark every step of the way. I love it on a coaching call when a member who's been wrestling with the perfect way to describe their work, we nail their dream client power statement, and suddenly it's like the oceans part, right? And they see things clearly for the first time. That is such a spark moment, and that in a lot of ways is way more valuable than hitting the six-figure milestone. Same thing when a coach has felt unclear about what to charge or not confident about charging, and then finally they land on pricing confidence. Or inside of Client Surge when they, for the first time ever, have a full client roster. Or finally see themselves consistent with their messaging and putting themselves out there in a bigger way. Building a loyal list, or a big milestone is hiring a team or launching a course and suddenly shifting out of working one-to-one or in small groups into impacting large groups of people at a time. All of those steps invite in multiple spark moments, and I want a name that highlights each one of those moments instead of diminishing them in some way. There's a third reason why we've decided to change the name of the Six Figure Coach Club, and that has to do with integrity. So I want to say this again. I always have financial goals. I love the money. I welcome the money into my life. I want you to have it too. This is not about being against anything. It's about being for everything. And I found from the outside looking in, it was really easy to lump my program into a category with countless other programs that emphasize hitting six figures or seven figures or having this laptop lifestyle, right? And that's not even really that important to me, right? So if you don't know what's happening inside of the club, you don't realize that there is so much meaning and impact happening, and you just might assume, oh, here we go again, another coaching program focusing on six figures. And I don't want to be a part of the noise. I want to be a beacon of clarity for my audience. And the name the Six Figure Coach Club does not help us be that beacon of clarity. I think I also experience friction with any sort of income claim marketing. It feels like a bypass. It's sort of an easy way to cheat, right? Cheat your way to selling more easily. And those six figures is a common theme for even the majority of our members and people who sign up because they want six figures. They tend to be really ambitious, so they do have some shared qualities. But income claim marketing, it doesn't totally align for me. There's a rub there, and I just want to let it go. And then lastly, a lot of the businesses, not all, but a lot of the businesses that emphasize income claim marketing, they tend to rely on disingenuous marketing techniques. False promises, exaggerated testimonials, not really giving you the full picture, talking about income but not really talking about profit, right? Those are two totally different things. Definitely leaning into the, if I can do it, you can do it, and it's simple for everyone. I have the magic key, and that's not what I'm about. And I just want to make sure that we're not putting out any mixed messaging by accident by relying on this income claim marketing. It just doesn't feel right anymore. Okay, so what is the new name of the program? I hope you're just chomping at the bit to find out. This is one that feels totally aligned with our fourth core value, which is belonging. This one comes up all the time in the club, and I'm so proud of the strong sense of belonging we've been able to cultivate. But belonging is that at-home feeling. It's that feeling you have when you know you're surrounded by people who understand, appreciate, and root for you. And that's what we are all about inside of our program. So, drum roll, please. Here we go again. The new name of the Six Figure Coach Club, effective immediately, is the Hive. So, my husband, Andrew, I was going back and forth with him and just not really brainstorming names, but talking about my desire to find a more aligned name for the program. And then when I came up with the Hive, his response was perfect. He said, yes, coming together to work hard toward a shared purpose for the betterment of the world. Andrew is a real nature lover, and he in particular loves ladybugs and he loves bees. But if you think about the important role that bees plays in our ecosystem, right, in the world, and also the sweetness that they bring and how they all come together and work really hard, it's truly the perfect name. So welcome to the Hive. I'm just feeling completely inspired by this new direction, and I look forward to sharing a deeper experience with you, whether it's just on the show, whether you decide to join me inside of the Hive, whether you're already a part of it. I'm just really excited. Okay, so what does this name change mean for you? Very good question. The first thing I want to address is up until now, we have had rolling enrollment into my signature program. What is rolling enrollment? I essentially was marketing the program through an evergreen funnel. So you might get an email from me, you might see a post on social, you might even see an ad that we're running, driving you to a masterclass. And let's just like sidebar for a moment. Really? Is every one of these webinars a masterclass? Well, I don't know about that, but here you go, right? Driving you to a masterclass where you learn a lot, and then I invite you to apply to join the Six Figure Coach Club, and you have an application call, and we can let you in if it feels aligned and if you feel ready. This Evergreen Funnel, I was a part of a mastermind program for a year and a half, but pretty intensely for a year, dedicated to helping course creators turn their funnels evergreen. And I have to tell you, there are a lot of problematic pieces inside evergreen funnels. Now, can they work? Sure. Yes. Can they work ethically? You got to try really hard for your funnel to work ethically. I have one client I can think of off the top of my head who has done a great job of that. But in general, especially with a year-long program that is the investment of the Hive, an evergreen funnel, that is a really hard thing to do well if you want to do it ethically. Most evergreen funnels rely on some form of false marketing, whether that's countdown timers that aren't really real, whether that's even promising you some sort of fast action bonus, but really everybody gets it. Just treating this thing that's on demand and available anytime as something that isn't. And again, that totally rubs up against integrity. I also have seen how when members join the Hive, I got to get used to that name. When members join the Hive, they really thrive when they're in cohorts. So I am going back to my roots. One thing I am really good at and love so much is live launches. So effective immediately, we have closed down our evergreen funnel. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't try really hard, you might not find it somewhere. We've done our best to close it down, but links on the internet can have a mind of their own, right? Anyhow, and we're shifting to a live launch model, welcoming 2, maybe 3 cohorts a year. Cohorts of 35 values-aligned coaches who we believe we can really help 10x their results and their sense of belonging and their purpose and their clarity and their consistency and, of course, their money, right, inside of the Hive. So why 35 people? Kylie, my client success manager, my entire team, but Kylie has one job, and her job is to make sure all of our members feel seen, heard, appreciated, that they really experience a sense of belonging, and that they stay on track toward their goals. And when Kylie and I met, we thought, you know what? 35 people, 2, maybe 3 times a year, we can totally deliver on that promise. Now, I can hear already certain experts or gurus who are all about scaling, telling me what a bad idea this is, and why would I ever cap the number of members? Can't I just hire other coaches and really scale this sucker? And maybe, but you know what? That's not the business I want. I don't want a program where I can't list the names of all of the people inside of it. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to say I'm a business mentor, but you don't actually hear from me outside of a Q&A call where maybe 400 people are also there and you don't even know if I'm going to get to your question, and you sure as hell you're not going to be able to talk to me directly. That is not the kind of work I want to do. That's not how I want to experience this thing that I've created. I'm very hands-on, and that's super meaningful to me. So if that means that we help fewer people, but we help them in a more meaningful way, I'm down for that, because the ripple effect that happens there is where all of the beauty lies. Okay, so this September, we're going to open up our first 35 spot cohort. It will be our last and only, I guess, cohort of 2021, and I'm so excited about it. I want you to watch your email inbox or watch me on Instagram. I'm Dallas Travers Biz Mentor for the announcement, because we're going to open up enrollment through a half-day live training called The Leap. The announcement will come out on September 9th. This training is totally accessible no matter where you live in the world. I'm delivering it 3 times live. We're going to spend 3 hours together really digging into the important work that sets the foundation for you to soar in your business. We're going to help you clarify what you really want instead of what you think you should want because, oh, that's the next step, or that's what everyone's talking about, or I might miss out if I don't focus on this thing. We're going to delete all of the crap on your to-do list that's A, not producing results, B, not making you feel good, C, not aligned with your values. I'm going to teach you the ripple effect system, which is how to build your business out in layers, focusing on habits so that everything has a flow and you can easily be consistent and you can give yourself permission to go all in. We'll wrap the training up with a framework to help you do just that. And of course, that will be the first time that I announce the opportunity to apply for one of these 35 spots inside of the Hive. I've coordinated some really awesome bonuses as well, which I'm super excited, but you got to come to the Leap in order to find out what those are. I guess the last thing I want to say about this is, and this is just to hold myself accountable because it makes me want to throw up a little bit. One thing that terrifies me, let me back it up and say it differently. I've been in business for a long time, and I can't remember the last time I did something in my business that felt super scary. I take big action all the time, but my tolerance for risk is quite high in my business. I don't feel terrified like I used to when I first started, and a lot of coaches who just haven't given themselves permission to go all in, like how they feel. But one thing that does make me shake in my boots is the idea of singing in public for a whole host of reasons, and we're going to do another little episode about that when we get closer to the Leap. But I have challenged myself to wrap this half-day training up with a performance, me singing to you. Don't worry, the song, we've got it cut down. It's very short, but it's just me really walking the walk instead of just talking a good game. And doing I don't want to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to do it in a big way. So if you want to watch me soar or fall flat on my face, we don't quite know how this is going to go, you're definitely going to want to join me inside the Leap. All right, so let me just summarize. I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful that you have listened to this episode. I want you to think about if there's any part of your business that does not fully align with your values, change it. It's okay to do that, even if it feels messy. There is so much work that we have to do in order to fully change the Six Figure Coach Club into the Hive, and I'm willing to do that work because my values matter that much. All right? So the Six Figure Coach Club, thank you for the time that you have spent and the purpose that you have served. We are moving on into the Hive, which is a year-long mastermind program, mentorship program, really, like no other, to help you really have the impact and the revenue and the confidence and the freedom and the purpose that you desire in your coaching business. We're no longer doing rolling enrollment. Instead, we're going to welcome cohorts of about 35 values-aligned coaches 2 or 3 times a year. Your chance to get in on this the first ever cohort and the last ever of 2021 is in September. You can do that by joining me for the LEAP training, which whether you decide to join the Hive or not, the LEAP is going to just be really, really special, and I hope that you will join me there. But you'll get the chance to apply for the Hive and qualify for some super duper fantastic bonuses. So again, thank you so much for being on this bumpy, messy, twisty, turny, fulfilling journey with me. It's such a joy to be connected. And with that, I will see you back here next week. Thanks again for tuning in.